One. Jim Joyce. Oh, I got it from the first time this time. Last 2 times I screwed it up.
You nailed it, man. And this is like a rapid fire. I'm a little late. The guest is coming to the door. We're just gonna chop.
We're gonna this is gonna be like a microdose of the shot. I've been using that term quite heavily lately. So not even time to like chit chat, because we got to be efficient here. 15-20 minutes. Let's bring Jared in. Bring Jared in. We're gonna
Jared Taylor,
a fellow podcaster. Look at that setup. Look at that setup. Man. You got it all set up, man. Plug it in. You got to plug that thing in. While Jared is setting this up, Jared, you're good? You're in?
Yeah, I'm good now. Someone played a joke and put all the dials down all the way. Like, who does that? But
your voice sounds amazing. The sound quality is off the hook. I'm jealous.
It works. It works.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the shot. Before we let you in, Jim and I were saying that will be the shortest episode ever in the shot's history. So we're gonna just kind of microdose on Jared Taylor today. But Jim, Jared, Jim. We had your awesome colleague Guy just a month and a half-ish ago, something like that. That's how we got introduced. So awesome to have you, and tell our millions of listeners and watchers, the ones that are addicted to us every Wednesday, who Jared is, and then we'll interrupt you as you go along telling us your story.
Sure. So yeah, I'm Jared Taylor, founder and CEO of BlocHealth, which was recently acquired by SteadyMD, which you just said you had a guy on who's the CEO over at SteadyMD. Started my career in the healthcare staffing space, working for a company called Medicus Healthcare Solutions. And that's where, I learned about the clinician journey, right? The onboarding of clinicians and what that looks like, and how extremely flawed it was even a couple of years ago. Still, there's still many parts that are flawed today, right? And ended up leaving to start BlocHealth as a staffing marketplace for nurse anesthetists and anesthesiologists. Things were going well. We were making placements, taking a clinician-focused approach. Then just kept running into issues with licensing, credentialing. Long story short, pivoted to kind of build out like a TurboTax-like application so that healthcare professionals could get enrolled with all the payers across the U.S., could get multiple state licenses. Years ago, what do you need 2 licenses for, right? But now you need like 30 plus.
50.
Yeah. And that kind of brought us to, building out the company, and then eventually getting acquired by SteadyMD recently.
And what did you, before you kind of jumped right into the professional career, which we both love, and that's what we're going to dive into deeper, but, maybe just back up, like, what did you study? Like, how did you get into healthcare, right?
Yeah, so I didn't have much like outside work experience even before like starting BlocHealth. So I graduated college in 2015. In 2015 from a small school called Franklin Pierce University in Southern New Hampshire. Played tennis there. Pierce. Oh, you do?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
You sound surprised.
On the mountains. I don't. It's on the mountains, right? Is it?
It's in the mountains. There is mountains right there. Yeah, there's Monadnock Mountain right there. I think that's what it's called. I only went once, so I never even climbed the mountain much. Freshman weekend, that was it. Freshman weekend, I climbed it, never went back again. But yeah, so studied accounting and finance with a specialty like focus on finance. Actually graduated as quickly as possible. I got out of school in 2.5 years with a bachelor's degree.
Wunderkind.
No, I didn't want to pay.
That's a good reason.
And I'm like, I want to leave. I want to get out early. I want the paper. I'm gonna teach myself what I need to know to do what I want to do. But I know I need this like paper. So they said, well, you
Very
can take extra classes.
Jobs-esque, kind of like Steve Jobs kind of esque. I love the the entrepreneurism.
Oh geez. Yeah. Well, they're like $3,000 a class extra that you want to take. I'm like, but I should be able to take as many classes as I want if I'm on campus. And that's my problem, right? You're already paying the professors regardless. So
a bundle price.
Yeah, I want a bundle price.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not paying, because I went to her and she's like, how many extra classes do you want to take? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe 10 a semester. I was gonna pay like 30 grand just to take extra courses on top of everything. So I created what I call a reverse transfer strategy. Where I haven't talked much about this, by the way. So this is cool that we're discussing it.
Wait, much or not at all? Like, we've heard it here first? Are we breaking the news or what? No.
I've probably never talked about it. I probably never talked about it on a podcast. I did write a book a couple of years ago and I talked about this. And just like kind of my journey.
Right. All right.
And
awesome.
But like I created a reverse transfer where I got the dean to sign off on me taking courses from multiple outside universities at a fraction of the price, couple $100 a course. Wow. And I got a stack of 20 courses approved before I even took them.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then I knew they were automatically going to transfer in. Yeah.
I mean, true entrepreneur, right? It's like when you hear a no, you keep pushing and you're like, all right, what can we figure out here? So love it. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I don't know, Jim. I mean, we can keep diving. We got 14 minutes.
So you're from New England then. You're from New England?
Yes, originally. Yep. Southern New Hampshire is where I grew up.
Okay. Cool. And then where did you set up BlocHealth? What, in the Boston area or?
Yep. Set up the company in Boston before moving it 2 years ago to in St. Pete, Florida, right near Tampa now.
Ooh, lovely. Okay, cool. So we caught up. We got the education, inspiration for Bloc.
Just seeing what was happening. Yeah, Medicus in the space. And, I kind of wanted to take that same structure I told you about, right? Like it kind of goes to, I basically filled out one app of all these courses, right? And then I was able to get what I wanted. So I wanted to kind of take that approach to healthcare, fill out one application and then get what you want.
Huh.
Awesome.
And did you bootstrap it? Did you raise money for Bloc? Did you what's a little bit of the story? I know you sort of talked about the pivot already, or combo.
Yeah. So this is something probably not many people know as well. We're giving you all the
awesome
stuff here.
Fantastic. The scoops.
So I had a tennis business all throughout college that did really well. And then I also took a semester off to go work at Fidelity. Took all that money and I invested it into BlocHealth when I first started it. Everything, total life savings went into BlocHealth.
Put it all on Black.
Yeah, put it all on Black.
Bloc. Put it all on Bloc.
Yeah, put it all on Bloc. And then we did raise some money after that, but the prove it piece, with when you have no traction, I had to do that. And then we raised minimal. We didn't raise much. Friends and family, angels. I say friends and family. I don't think I didn't know any of them before, and they weren't family. But the phrase, right?
We call it the friendly and family.
Yeah, exactly.
I know them now. That's
exactly. And gotten much closer during the process, I'm sure. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then just again, more out of curiosity, what kind of inspired? I mean, Guy is a great guy. I think the business is strong. It makes sense. It's very sort of I'm sure if not, you were probably pitching to him for services, right? To SteadyMD. And then it just kind of, I don't know, match made in heaven.
Yeah. I had him on the podcast a couple of years ago. That's when him and I started connecting. And then they became a customer. 2 years later, though, not like immediately.
Right.
Then they became a partner, and then I
Right.
had him and the co-founder, his co-founder, Yaron, at every conference saying like, just, join us,
Right.
and but so I actually, I had no intention of doing anything like this, but then I heard a founder that just sold his company at one of these conferences say, when the mission and the vision aligns with what yours is, and together you're going to, accomplish it, or, you're more likely to accomplish it, you do it. And then I talked with them after that. And that's when we started like having more conversations around like, hey, let's team up, because there is no all-in-one, like, staff your clinician workforce, get them licensed, credentialed with the payers, and ready to go, opportunity.
Right.
Awesome.
And so right now you're with them right now. Is that how long ago was the transaction?
It's been actually 3 months now. So it's been a while. And then it was in motion, to kick off the year.
I love a while. 3 months, just like that was like yesterday.
Yeah, no, but 3 months is flying by. Like I can't. We've been with them for about 3 months now. Yes, I'm with the company. They just head up basically like BlocHealth is still a separate entity, but then I also have like a title within SteadyMD where I'm like I run still licensing, credentialing there.
Awesome.
Got it.
Let's talk about, the fellow podcaster. I don't know how much you know about this show, but it's really a mental intervention for Jim and I. That's basically it, right? A mental health, and a mental one overall. But how and when did you get started with Slice? And I've actually noticed you have Slice. I watched, the one with Glen, Lee, Jen, and I'm forgetting the first
Naomi.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And Naomi. And so that's the titans of healthcare. But like, rewind us back. What made you kind of start it? And I think you're like almost 300 episodes in, right? On just one of them, the main one.
Yeah, just on one of them. We're over 500 with all of them.
Wow.
So it was originally a way, basically the first like slice of healthcare episodes, when you look at them, it was with influencers in the nursing space and kind of educating people on how they could go down those career paths.
Okay.
And then one day we're like, let's talk with some other people. Let's cover digital health. Let's cover what's happening in the space. Reached out, got the founder of Michael Gordon from Teladoc to come on, and then everyone, like, after he came on, everyone's like, all right, I want to come on this show now. And then we just kind of went from there. Yeah.
Awesome.
And when you're
go ahead.
When you're interviewing these guys, because now I'm going to listen to I want to go back and listen to the Teladoc one, then I want to listen to the Glen Tullman one after. But what's your technique for, like, do you find people are pretty guarded? Do they relax? Like, what's your technique, or what are you trying to get out of them in the interview?
Much like this, right? Make it a call like this. Make it casual. That's how you're going to get these people to talk about them and their lives, and get the honest answers. But there's no gotcha questions. We're not. It's about promoting positivity in the space too. Let's highlight the cool things people are doing. I don't care. I'm not going to say, you just laid off half your workforce. Like, talk us through how did that feel? Right? Like, horrible. Right. But people ask that stuff. Like, how does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, how can it feel?
Good.
How can it feel?
Right.
Or why would you do that? Right.
Right.
Not because I want to. But yeah. So like, not doing that type of stuff. But yeah, just keeping it relaxed, talking about these people. Just understanding what they're doing. It's honestly like much like when you two are doing this, right? It's so cool because like they're educating you. They're teaching you about like what they've done, what they've learned, and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah. And then 300 episodes, that's some stamina, man. That's some stamina. Like, do you have, like, how are you feeling? And like, have you been all 300? Do you have a partner in it, or?
There's other people now, but so most of them are me. Oh, every slice of healthcare one has been me. So the 300 have been me. We were cranking them out during the pandemic, 5 a week. Yeah. It was Monday.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, 5 a week.
5 a week was insane.
What's the time period? How long are they?
About 15 minutes. They're pretty short though. They are short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Jim, if I'm not mistaken, there's there's some production to the slice of healthcare. There's some production value. We're meticulously unproduced, so it's like what you see is what you get. That's funny. And so with a 300 plus, like any, and especially as you shifted towards this like digital health and kind of broader healthcare, any like, I don't know, trends or any like interesting anecdotes without mentioning names, or with, these seem to be, we're having some firsts here together. So anything around like what you've learned, like aha moments, like I'd be just curious. I mean, that's a lot of people.
There's a common trend from the ones that succeed and continue to build these companies. They continue to surround themselves with the people that like they had a good, like let's do an example. Like Livongo is a great example, right? We had that Livongo digital health mafia on.
Yeah.
Right? Go look at who these people, they branched out. They're starting their own companies. They all raised a lot of money. They're all not just raising a lot of money. They're building some great companies in that digital health space. And then go look at who they're hiring. Right. They're hiring the people that were part of their departments while they were at Livongo. So that's why, it's the Livongo digital health mafia, right? It was similar to the HubSpot mafia. We had one called Endeca in Boston as well. These great companies, they have a great leadership structure. Those leaders eventually leave, and then they find their subgroup of people that become their next, mafia.
Right.
And we're
fascinating.
Somehow we're making mafia a good term, by the way. Like it's not a good thing. Well, saying it's
Well, we have some Italian.
The Eugene mafia. The Eugene mafia. But it's fascinating because it's really interesting now. Like actually even Eugene and I knowing each other, we have our buddy Martin Kelly from Health Excel. I don't know if you come across them, or our other buddy Dan Kendall, or just these kind of like connectors. Like Eugene's one of them. Got it. And so listen, we've got a promise of a hard stop here. We got to hit him with the question. What do you think, Eugene?
Yeah, I mean, I think because otherwise we're gonna just keep diving deeper and deeper. So let's, I think we got like a microdose already. So let's get the microdose. And before you go there, since you can't hang on for like in the extra minute, I was just talking about vacations, right? And like, startup vacations, tough to take, especially in this young stage. So what we've been doing with the family is on weekends, like Saturday morning, we'll rent a car, we'll go up or down the coast here. So I've been using this as like microdosing vacations. So like literally. So, I mean, you just get a microdose of it and then you've refreshed. Right. So anyway, we got the microdose of Jared. Go, Jim, with your famous question, and then we'll let you go right on time, Jared.
Okay. So picture yourself back in the foothills of southern New Hampshire, and they're building a tennis court in your honor after you've made a big donation to Franklin Pierce University from your latest healthcare venture that you've sold on, and you're there in a young aspiring entrepreneur that's trying to graduate in a year and a half, that has the most popular podcast on campus, talking about organizing something, comes up to you and says, Jared, what's the one piece of advice you give me? I only got a minute because I got a podcast I'm going on in a second, but what's the one piece of advice you'd give me?
Keep going. Keep going. When someone says you can't do it, that usually means, when someone immediately says you can't do something, that means you're usually onto something. You got to keep going. If you believe in it and it's not just, made up in your head that you think this is, you can do this. Like I do believe in like, manifesting, what you want. Like I knew the direction we wanted to take, anything that we do. I would just say, manifest what you want, build an actionable plan to go and hit that, and then take baby steps to hit it. don't look at, like, I like the staircase analogy, right? You have a goal up the top of the staircase. Don't think you have to jump all the stairs, right? Break it down one staircase at a time. I know someone said that in a motivational speech at some point.
It's
But,
all right. You gave him credit now, so all good.
We don't know who it is, but the credit was
Awesome.
out there. Yes. But yeah, that would be my piece of advice.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm
We nailed it.
manifesting we spend more time together as the years go along, because this was awesome, and we'll talk soon. And to the millions of listeners and viewers, hit subscribe, pass it on, and see you next
Great
week.
to meet you, Jared. You're on time.
Nice to meet you as well. That was awesome.